Over the years, I've helped a lot of different business owners, and one of the things that I've noticed is a lot of people are leaving money on the table. But there were themes to why they were leaving money on the table, whether it was through my coaching, helping them with their bookkeeping, or just in generally just having conversations with them about sales and whatnot. And I thought what I would do today is I would take a look at 5 different things that I've noticed what people are doing that is leaving money on the table. Hey, badass business owners, my name is Tammy, and I'm here to help you grow your business, but more importantly, grow those profits. So let's take a look at 5 things that I've noticed that are pretty common that people are doing all of the time, and you might be doing them yourself. The first thing I want to talk about is pricing. Now, you knew this one was coming. So many of you are leaving money on the table due to your pricing. And what it is that you're doing is sometimes you're not priced right to begin with. Sometimes you're not adjusting your prices to meet the market demand. Sometimes you're not adjusting your prices because your costs have gone up. And when your costs go up, you should be adjusting your pricing. Whatever the case may be, pricing is a huge part of where people are leaving money on the table. Believe it or not, if you're overpriced, you're leaving money on the table because people are walking away and they don't want to be paying those prices. So you're losing money. Or you're undercharging people and you're leaving money on the table because there's more room to grow. For example, you may or not have heard of this particular situation happening. There are people that are booked up weeks and weeks and weeks, and what they don't realize is they're probably underpriced. People are willing to wait weeks, if not months, for them to do their service or buy their product or whatever the case may be. In which case, you probably could raise your prices. You'll still have a wait, but it won't be as long, but you're going to be making more money on these people. So if you have a long wait and people are willing to wait months and months for you to be able to help them, I challenge you, raise your prices $20, $30, and I'll bet you still have those same people. But there's all kinds of ways that we're leaving money on the table when it comes to its pricing. It could be a video all on its own, but that is just one way that people are leaving money on the table. Now, another way that people are leaving money on the table is they never follow up with people. They sit there and they give them a quote. They tell them what it's going to be. The person says they want to think about it, and they never follow up on them. They just say, hey, if they want to use me, they're going to give me a call. They're going to call back. And the reality is a lot of times they might call back, but who knows when they're going to be ready? They might be ready 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. They still want whatever it is they reached out to you for. They may not have had money at that moment, but they probably will have the money down the road. And then at that time, they've already moved on to somebody else, or they've been recommended by somebody else, as opposed to you just staying in touch with them. So if you take the time to give somebody a quote or to at least let them know what's going on, you should drop them into a little tickler file, and you need to reach out to them on a regular basis just to let them know that you're still out there. You're not putting any pressure on them, but hey, I'm here when you're ready. Another great time to follow up with people is right at tax time when they're getting those refunds back. They probably finally have the money at that time. So don't make the mistake of never following up with people, but that also goes with your past clients because your past customers. Because if somebody used your service before or your product before, the odds are they might be able to use it again, whether it's 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. And a lot of businesses, what they do is they're once and done. They don't follow up with somebody. For example, if you have a carpet cleaning business, that person should be in a normal rotation where you reach out to them at least every 6 months, asking if you want to go ahead and get that scheduled. If you have a business that they don't use for 5 years, you need to put it in there where you start following up with them at 4 years, 4.5 years, and reminding them, hey, we did your service way back in. Is it time for us to come back out now? If the lifespan of the product that you do and you sell is 2 to 3 years, then you should start following up with them at that time as well. If not on a regular basis, but at minimum, follow up during the time frame that they should be using you again. Your past clients are warm leads. They've already used you. They've already loved you. They've already worked with you. Stop chasing new customers on a regular basis and go after those ones that you've already used. You're leaving money on the table. They're easy pickings. Is every single one of them going to use you again? Probably not. But can you get the majority of them to come back? Probably. And you just need to stay in touch with them, and you need to follow up with them. Now, here's one that comes from the bookkeeping world. I can't tell you how many businesses I look into and I'm looking at their invoicing, and they have people that owe them money. They have thousands of dollars outstanding because they never followed up on the invoicing that they did. It's one thing when you do something and you get paid right in that moment, but there's a lot of you out there that have businesses that are based off of invoicing, and you give them a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, to be able to pay you. But what's happened is you moved on to the next thing. And because you have a steady flow of money coming in, it never dawns on you that there might be people that are 2 months, 3 months, 4 months and still haven't paid you. And you would think that we would always follow up with people that owe us money, but that does not happen. I can't tell you how many people I start looking at their books. They're on Invoicing, and it turns out that they have anywhere from 17 to 30 to 40 different invoices that are out there that nobody has followed up on. Or they think someone else is following up on them. Or they're like, yeah, I know they owe me money, but I just haven't had time. You need to find a process, a system where you follow up with these people that owe you money on a regular basis. Maybe you make phone calls every Friday. Maybe you make them every Monday. But whatever it is, or you pay someone to do it. But you must follow up with people that owe you money. You're leaving money on the table and you're not catching it. And I don't know how people don't catch it. Or sometimes they know it and they feel bad about it, but they don't do anything about it. And if you're willing to just spend your time and energy doing services for people and never getting money on them, then you go for it. And by the way, those of you that help commercial people and it's normal that it takes a really long time for you to get paid, I really advise you to look at those ones because sometimes you're so used to it that you wake up one day and you find out that you've got an invoice that's 3, 4, 5, 6 months old because you got so used to waiting forever for that business to give you money. You need to be dropping them messages on a regular basis to remind them to pay you. They're paying somebody and they're going to pay the squeaky wheel. And if you're the one that's willing to roll over and not get paid, you're going to be at the bottom of that list and you're not going to get paid for a very long time. And I've seen people where they get paid like 7 invoices all at once or 10 invoices all at once because they just wait for these people to pay them. And if that's normal in your business, I get it. But at the same time, you still need to be that squeaky wheel. You still need to make sure that you are getting paid. Now, here's another place that I find a lot of people are leaving money on the table, and that is when you dive into your expenses on your profit and loss. There's so much money being spent on your profit and loss that nobody's paying attention. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of examples, all right? One area is supplies. I have had people that are spending anywhere up to $1,000 a month on supplies. That's $12,000 on office supplies by the end of the year. And their business has no need, no reason whatsoever that they need $12,000 to pay for different office supplies through the course, but it all creeps up on them. They might spend $200 here, $300 here. In Amazon is probably the number one vendor in a lot of people's bookkeeping if they are into this, because it's Amazon, because we can get everything on there, right? We can get our office supplies on there. We can get our regular supplies. We can get our products and services that we need. We can spend money like there's no tomorrow on Amazon because we can get it the next day. We do it personally. I know I do. I walked outside today and there was an Amazon box and I forgot what the heck I had ordered. It wasn't until I went to pick it up that I remembered what it was, but it was something I ordered a couple of days ago and I had completely forgot about it. Do I still need it? Yes, thank God. But how many times have you picked up an Amazon box that you just sat there forever and you didn't even open it because you didn't really need it when you thought you needed it? People are wasting a lot of money on supplies, office supplies, and things like that because it's so simple to get some of them. And by the way, that stuff adds up. When people are wondering where all their money went, it is going to things like that. Another area that I see all the time, especially in the bookkeeping side, is you guys are nickel-diming yourself away on these office meals or these you're going out for meals and entertainment. Well, first off, you don't even know if you're going to get credit for it. I'm not a tax expert. You do not get a great, not everything that you spend money on when it comes to meals and entertainment are you going to get as a deduction. So first off, that's a fallacy. A lot of people think, oh, I can just write it off. No, not necessarily. You need to talk to your tax person. Some things you can't write off at all. Sometimes you can only write off half, but I'm telling you, it adds up. There are businesses out there that they think, oh, it's just $17 or whatever the case may be. And then by the end of the month, they're at $300, $400, $500 just on meals. And then they go, why? I don't understand why I only have $1,000 worth of profit, because you ate another $500,000 with things that you bought through the business for, by the way, another area is when you go to the gas station, right? You spend $60 on the gas, but then you go inside and you spend another $12 getting a hot dog and a chips and soda or whatever the case may be. I'm telling you, on your expenses, dive into them. You're going to find that you are leaving a lot of money on the table because you're spending a lot of money and it's adding up. It's nickel and dime, but it adds up at the end of the day and you're losing like $500, $1,000 every single month of your profits that you do not need to be losing. So please dive into that. Look at those numbers. Have your bookkeeping person, if you have one, have them tell you exactly what kind of money are you spending and going out the door for those particular amounts. All right? Now, one other area that a lot of people are leaving money on the table, and that has to do with their processes. They have what I call broken processes. There are parts of their business, things that they do on a regular basis that they know aren't quite working the way that they should, and it's costing them money. And they're just like, I just don't have time to fix it. Well, whenever you say the words, I don't have time to fix it, you have a broken process and you're leaving money on the table, because more than likely, whatever that process is costing you money. It could be something as simple as you're going to one town, then going over to another part of town, because you never fix the process of scheduling to where you do this whole entire area every Monday, and then you do this entire area every Tuesday. It could be the fact that your ordering process, you're ordering incorrectly and you're buying way too much of stuff that you don't need, not enough of the stuff that you do need. So now you've got your inventory building and building and building. You're just wasting money because your inventory is growing and you always feel like you're having to buy because you just don't have a great process when it comes down to ordering your inventory. The expenses that we talked about earlier, if you don't have a great process in place, you're going to keep spending money on stuff because you think you need that to be able to take care of the process. It could be the way that you do a job and you have a lot of waste and you're having to run back and forth to a Home Depot or a Lowe's or whatever the case may be. Once again, a broken process is costing you money, costing you time, and costing you money. There are a lot of processes out there that people are doing. It could be not training their people. And when you don't train your people correctly, what ends up happening? You have a broken process and it's costing you money. A lot of different things out there that when it comes to processes that are costing you money and you need to fix it. Listen, I could go on and give you, 5 more things that are costing you money in your business. But ultimately, there are a lot of different things ranging from the way that we do our bookkeeping to the way that we are ordering our processes to the way that we take care of our customers that we are leaving money on the table. So if you are running a business where you are sitting there going, man, I really would like to make more money, I'm telling you, there are simple things that you can be doing in your business today that will easily add more money to your bottom line and might give you more customers, might give you more profits. At the end of the day, it's going to ultimately end up creating more money for you in your business. The important thing is you need to sit back, you need to analyze your business, you need to look at the different areas of your business and say, how am I leaving money on the table? I didn't even talk about websites that the emails don't work back to you, or the phone calls that never get picked up. Like I said, I could go on and on. There's so many different ways that you are leaving money on the table. These are just 5. Check them out. If I ask yourself, are you doing any of those? And by the way, if you happen to want to understand your business numbers better or you need some bookkeeping, check the notes below. I've got links to a great course I have for helping you understand your business numbers, and obviously doing some folks with the bookkeeping and stuff like that. But ultimately, I want you to run a more profitable business, and I need you to be diving into your business, looking at your numbers and understanding what's going on and how you're leaving money on the table. And with that, I will talk to you next time. Bye for now.